Hello, my friends. Good morning to you, and welcome back to our reading of the Spirit's book. And today we are at the topic the trials of wealth and poverty. Question 814. Why has God bestowed wealth and power on some and poverty on others? Answer. In order to test everyone differently. Moreover, as you know, such trials are chosen by the spirits themselves, and they often fail at them. Question 815. Which of the two trials is more dangerous to humans, poverty or wealth? Answer. They are equally so. Poverty provokes complaining against providence, whereas wealth leads to all kinds of excesses. Question 816. If the wealthy endure more temptations, don't they also have the means at their disposal for doing more good? Answer. That is precisely what they do not always do. They become selfish, proud, and insatiable. Their wants increase with their fortune, and they never think they have enough. Note that comes after this answer. An elevated position in the world and authority over our fellow beings are trials as great and risky as misfortune. For the wealthier and more powerful we are, the more obligations we must fulfill, and the greater are the means at our disposal to do good and evil. God tests the poor through resignation, and the wealthy through the use they make of their wealth and power. Wealth and power awaken all the passions that attach us to matter, and they keep us from spiritual perfection. That is why Jesus said, "Verily I say to you that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven." Equality of rights between men and women. Question 817. Are men and women equal before God? And do they have the same rights? Answer. Hasn't God given them both the knowledge of good and evil and the faculties of progress? Question 818. Where does the moral inferiority of women in certain regions come from? Answer. From the unjust and cruel domination that men have exerted over them. It is a result of social institutions and the abuse of strength over weakness among men who have not advanced very much from the moral point of view. Might makes right. Question 819. From what purpose are women physically weaker than men? Answer. To assign special functions to them. Men are meant for rough work by being stronger. Women for lighter work, but both mutually help each other in the trials of a life full of bitterness. Question 820. Doesn't women's physical weakness make them naturally dependent on men? Answer. God has given strength to some in order to protect the weak, not to enslave them. A note from Kardec under this answer. God has fitted the organization of each sex for the functions that it must perform. If God has given less physical strength to women, God has at the same time given them greater sensitivity in relation to the delicacy of the maternal functions and the fragility of the beings entrusted into their care. It's true. We have babies, right? And we are more really sensitive. It's true. Question 821. Are the functions for which women are intended by nature as important as those conferred upon men? Answer. Yes, and even greater. Women give men the first notions of life. Question 822. Since all people are equals before God's law, shouldn't they also be equals before human law? Answer. This is the first principle of justice. Do not do unto others what you do not want them to do unto you. Question that comes after this answer. Accordingly, in order for legislation to be perfectly just, shouldn't it consecrate the equality of rights between men and women? Answer. Equality of rights, yes. Of functions, no. All persons must have a specific place, and their occupations should reflect their aptitude. In order to be just, human law must consecrate the equality of rights between men and women. Any special privilege granted to one and not the other is contrary to justice. The emancipation of women accompanies the progress of civilization. Their servitude is in step with barbarity. Besides, sex exists only in the physical organization, and since spirits can become either, there are no differences between them in this respect. Consequently, they should enjoy the same rights. Next topic, equality in death. Question 823. Where does the desire to perpetuate one's memory on funeral monuments come from? Answer. The last act of pride. Question that comes after this answer. But isn't the pompousness of funeral monuments most frequently determined by relatives who desire to honor the memory of the deceased rather than the deceased him or herself? Answer. It is the pride of the relatives who want honor for themselves. It is not always for the deceased that all these demonstrations are made, but for vanity, for consideration by the world, and for parading their wealth. Do you believe that the memory of loved ones is lasting in the hearts of the poor just because they can only place one flower on their loved ones' graves? Do you believe that marble can save from forgottenness those who had been useless while on earth? Question 824. Is funeral pomp completely reproachable? Answer. No. When it honors the memory of a moral person, it is just and sets a good example. There is a note from Kardec under this answer saying the following. The grave is the place of meeting for all humankind. All human distinctions are mercilessly ended there. The wealthy try in vain to perpetuate their memory by means of ostentatious monuments. Time will destroy these monuments just as it destroys their bodies. Nature has so willed it. The memory of their good and evil deeds will be less perishable than their grave, and the pomp of their funerals will neither cleanse away their meanness nor raise them one single degree in the spirit hierarchy. Well guys, I hope you guys have a great day and you have liked this reading. as much as I do. Have a great day. Bye bye. Big kids. God bless you all.